Good morning, everybody. Welcome along. How the devil are you doing? Today is, let's see, where are we? Wednesday, 21st. Wednesday, 21st of December 2022. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack. Do you know what? I haven't got to rush out the door this morning. I'm not working this morning, but working sort of later on. So I haven't got to go out till about 10 o'clock. I've got the exciting job of going to see an accountant. And then off to work. So, do you know what? Spot myself a little bit of lying, got a bit carried away, looked at the time, thought, need to be up. Anyway, here I am. Enough of my troubles. So, welcome. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack on this fine Wednesday morning. How is everybody doing? Are we all okay? Let's pop a little bit of extra ambient light on. There we go. A bit of ambience. Shall we go for? Welcome. Say hello as you come on board. See if my comments are working today. They weren't working yesterday. So hopefully they will start to pop up. We shall see, shall we? Take them off, bring them back on, see if anything comes up. Hey, what are you doing to me, Facey Bookie? It's not on. Right, so I'll just talk to myself then. I'll just babble on for a little bit, see what happens. Hello. How are we doing? Is everything okay with you all? You have a good few days on this build up till Christmas. I think I said to you, wasn't it 4 days before sleeps? So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, 4 sleeps, or in my case 3, because I never sleep on Christmas Eve. I should be up at 3 a.m. to put the turkey on to slowly cook. And then I'm too excited. I need to get up and open presents. Just a big kid at heart, basically. What can I say? I'm just a big kid. So, hey, let us know what's happening in your part of the world. It's a dull day here. It looks like it might have been raining a little bit overnight, but it's not raining now, which is good. So, let us know what's happening in your part of the world, and I'll catch up with you after this is over. The grandchildren are on their way round because daughter is expecting your baby imminently. She's overdue now by 2 days. She's got an appointment with the midwife this morning. So we may even have the children to stay for a whole day and a night. You never know, do you? See what happens. Daughter's a midwife herself, so you know she might be able to convince them that she doesn't need to stay in. She'll look after everything. But hey, I don't know. Okay, she did say to us, because Christmas is at our house, don't worry, Mum, if needs be on Christmas Day, I can have it in the kitchen because we can mop the floor. Like, yeah, lovely, that's going to be nice. So we shall see how things go, eh? Right, so where are we time-wise? Because I can see people coming on board. I've got 8 of you, but I can't see any comments. Now, I can see Dawn is there. I can see Maya Seth is there. I can see Mrs. P is in the house, and those are the icons I can see at the top. We are at 8 a.m, so let's get ourselves ready to go. We'll lose the comments off the bottom of the screen, and we're ready for it. Yeah? Well, 3, 2, 1. Boom! Good morning, everybody. Welcome along. You're with myself, Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Wednesday. It's the 21st of December 2022. And I just need to change this angle slightly so you can see a bit more of my feet. Today is Wednesday, the 21st of December 2022. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack. Welcome. Now, listen, first decision. Standing or seated? In standing, I've got my fixed external support available to me. In seated, strong, sturdy chair. Here. Yeah. And carpeted floor. You can have socks or you could go barefoot. Now, I have got my Dawn Skelton socks, as I call them. This is a very present from Dawn last year, I think it was, Dawn. Lovely. So first chance I've had to wear some proper socks because I'm racing out the door on now, so I've got myself dressed ready to hit the road. You could be barefoot also, but only if you're on a carpeted floor. If you're on a hard floor, a solid floor, you need to have sensible, comfortable footwear. Next thing we need to look at, is the space clear? Have we got anything in the way that could cause us any issues? And there's nothing, not even Maisie. She's on the landing today. She decided she's going to stay at the top of the stairs. She's keeping an eye out for Santa and the elves, just in case they come early. Now, let's get ourselves sorted as far as our posture is concerned. So, in standing and in seated, the alignment is the same. In seated, we need to get ourselves into that working position. So, from a seated position, let's bring our back away from the chair. Lift and support the upper body, not the chair, okay? Don't let the chair do it, you do it. Hip walk forwards, that's a bit, you do it. I do apologise. we hip walk into the front third of the chair. This is what we call our working position. Now from here, we line everything up again, okay? So our alignment in standing and seated, heels in line with knees. The knees are softened slightly, and that's going to be easy in seated because they're bent. Lift and lengthen to go that little bit taller between our ribs and hips, so get that little bit of extra space. Lift the shoulders up, take them back, press them down, so we open this rib cage and lengthen through the neck. Now the thing with posture is it's the best posture that we can achieve. So we may not be able to get into a fully straight line, but that's fine. It's the best posture that we can receive. Once we're there, let's start with some circulation boosting. And in both seated and standing, we start with a heel raise, lifting that foot clear of the floor with the heel only. The ball of the foot is staying on the floor. So it's this pedaling type motion happening. And this is about just starting to get the blood flow happening. So starting to get the blood flowing around the body, starting to get those muscles warmed. And we take it from there and we make the movements bigger. So bigger from here is to take it into a march, actually clearing the foot off the floor, and that gives us an opportunity to start to point the toes downwards. Now in seated, exactly the same, but just be aware that we could get some fatigue into our hip flexors. Right at the very top, we could get some fatigue there. It's a big movement in seated. If we do, then there's options. Back into this heel raise, or if we want to change the motion still, don't want to come back to this, how about a diagonal toe tap forward? But if we're doing that, it's just the toe that taps, look, and it's about 10 to 2 you're aiming for. Now, one arm, bring it in. If you're using your support, you've got the other hand on the support, haven't you? So it's either there in front or to the side. Important things here. If the support is in front, then make sure you've got room for your knees. If your support is to the side, then stand sideways onto it. So it's actually there and giving you the support. And make sure that your hand is in line with your shoulder. So you've got that support where you need it. Now, we're changing hands. So without support and seated, we can just change hands. With support, we just need to make sure we've always got a hand on the support, so the hand comes down before the other hand comes off. So if our support is to the front, we can change as many times as we want to. But if it's to the side, we need to control it a bit more. So lose the arm, make the march a little bit smaller, start to take as many steps as you need to turn into your support, and then once you've turned around to the other side, we're back in with that other arm. And then finally, in standing, if we're not using support, and in seated, we can use both arms, both legs. Bigger movement because more of the body is moving now. 2 minutes, 3 minutes max, and then we can start to wind it down a little bit. So let's take the arms out. Let's make the march a little bit smaller. Let's bring it back into a heel raise and then to a pause, at which point a couple of deep breaths might be the order of the day. Okay, we're ready to move in to our trio of movements. Starting at the very top, we go to the middle and then we go down to the bottom. Head and shoulders. Now, base of support. Let's always start with our base of support. Heels in line with knees. Knees in line with hips and softened. Come a bit closer, we'll have a look. Exactly the same in seated. Neck stays lengthened. Shoulders come up towards the ears and then we press them back down. Try to lower them past where we started. So lowering down. And you're looking for around about 4 or 5 of these movements. And once you've done your 4 or 5, we're going to take a pause. So here comes my last one. And I'm going to pause there and then we'll take it into this rotational movement. So come forward firstly, lift up towards our earlobes, back past the earlobes, shoulder blades together, and we press down, getting this cyclical motion happening. Now again, exactly the same in seated. Slow and controlled because we want to make sure we get every part of the shoulder moving and we want to get the best range of motion possible. Now once we've done those 4 or 5, let's have a pause and head into the head, a head turn. Now here, eye line stays level, chin stays level, and we turn the head to the side. Pausing in the centre, we turn it the other way. Eye line staying level though, as I say, and this little pause in the centre just gives the system in our ears a chance to stabilise itself. So hopefully we don't feel any lightheadedness, any dizziness, any disorientation. And you're looking at 4 or 5 each way. Now, anything where we move the arms away from the body, the shoulders are involved. So think about reaching to get something off a shaft. How many times do we turn our head in a day, just looking to pick something up by the side of us, or turning to cross the road, driving, turning to check there's nothing coming as we pull out from a junction. All those sort of movements. Once you've done that, 4 or 5 each way. Let's go into the back of the neck. So this part here we're going to lengthen and straighten. So fingers on chin, and our movement, keeping the fingers on the chin if you want to, is to draw back and release, or leave the fingers where they are, draw the chin back away from them and come forward. So we get this alignment down through the back of the neck. Now if I take my fingers off my chin, look, same movement, there we go. Coming back and coming forward, and if I take the fingers away, exactly the same. We give ourselves under the chin, but that's fine. What we're doing, we're popping that head back onto the top of the spine, getting that alignment down through that spine. Once you've done your 4 or 5 of those, take a pause, and we're into a circulation booster again. 30 seconds this time, and just the bottom half. So hips down, the party area, yeah? Partying down here, thinking up here, yeah? So we're downstairs, marching, heel taps, heel raises, sorry, or toe taps if you're in seated. 30 seconds, just enough time to give the body a bit of a reboost as we move from this top area down into this middle area, into our trunk. Now let's think about how many times we turn, we reach for things, those sorts of activities. And even just standing or seated, the trunk is involved in it. It's helping to support this upper part of our body. So as we reach that 30 seconds, let's bring it down, bring it to a pause and reset our base of support. Take the feet outside of your hips, in line with your shoulders. Movement 1, in seated exactly the same, down to the side, pause in the centre. In seated, think about your sitting bones. And if you've got support in front, you change hands every time. We're sliding that hand down towards the knee, but it's a straight down, straight up motion. In standing with support to the side, we come into the support and then back to the centre. And as I say, in seated, we do exactly the same movement using the chairs of the leg. It's not the chest, the leg of the chairs, as long as they are straight, to get that movement. But it is straight down, straight up, and the bum stays firmly on the chair. So lift. In standing, we didn't lift the feet off the floor. We kept the feet firmly planted on the floor. And in seated, we keep the bottom firmly planted on that chair. Once you've done your 4 or 5 on each side, reaching down and drawing back up. Take a pause and think about reaching down to pick something up that might be by the side of you. Let's take it into our trunk rotations, our trunk twists. So here it's about trying to keep this pelvis still. If we imagine it's a bucket of water, we don't want to lose any of the water out of it, so we don't want to be tipping it forward or backwards, side to side. So our movement here, sitting, knees softened, elbows in line with shoulders, we turn to the side, we pause in the centre, and then we turn the other way. And as I say, it's about trying to keep those hips still. Now, support in front, change hand every time, support to the side, exactly the same again. You do it all on one side, turning into your support and back, and then you turn to the other side. In seated, again, it's about your sitting bones. So in standing, you might want to use your support as a reference point. Put your bottom against it, or put your hips against it. Now, as I turn here, I can feel from the way that the weight is going down through my buttocks as to whether I've got any movement. If I feel my bum lifting, I know that I've got movement into my hips, and I don't want that. I want the movement to stay into the trunk, okay? So we rotate around to the side and we pause in the centre. Now think about seat belts, crossing the road, all those sorts of things, even rolling over in bed. That's where the trunk is involved. 4 or 5 on each side. Again, don't race it and use that little pause in the centre. It might be a pause just to have a little breather, might be a pause to have a bit of switch off, switch everything back on, and away we go. Let's move from there into the lower back, so our back extensions. Here we're going to stay tall. It's about making sure this pelvis stays still, so we don't want to tip the pelvis forward or backwards. So again, you might want to use your support to give you information. But have a look at the movement. Eye line stays level, so another double chin. We lift the chest and we extend back. So we get the double chin because the eye line stays level, but with the pelvis stays still as well, so we're not tipping. We're lifting the chest and then we're extending back slightly. And that lift starts the extension, gives us that room to be able to just draw back. What we're not doing is this, leaning back, okay? And in seated, exactly the same movement. Sitting tall, lift the chest, extend backwards with the upper body, go back in and release. And you'll really feel that into your lower back. I've got plenty of patients who say, do you know what, my lower back hurts. And I've said to them, well, if you try this, give this a shot. Even if it's just do a few of these in the morning or throughout the day, every now and again, have a few little of these extensions. And as soon as they do, they go, oh, I can feel that feels so good. And all the time they've been doing this sort of movement, they'll be coming forward and trying to stretch it out. Give it an extension, let it have some movement in there. Once you do 4 or 5 of those, take a pause and we're back into another circulation booster. But it's the top half this time, not quite the thinking part. We haven't got as high as the head, it's just the arms. Okay, but we can start to make these a little bit bigger. Look, we can reach through and get some rotation through the chest area by really driving it forward and drawing it back. Choice is yours. 30 seconds again, just enough time to reboost that circulation before we head into our final trio, our ankle, feet and toes. Now, if you're in seated and standing is not where you're going to, trunk movements or head movements and shoulder movements might be ones you want to pick at and go over again. Alternatively, come with us into this ankle, feet and toes. As we get to that 30 seconds, let's bring the arms down, bring it to a pause, and we're ready to get going. Now, into a standing position if we're going to do it standing. Use your support so that you can get the best movement. Don't worry about balance. The leg that is supporting you, the knee staying softened. You're going to take the eye line to the front eventually, but you might want to look to start off with toe down and then heel in the same place. As the heel's down, splay the toes. As you bring it over, scrunch them and then point them down towards the floor. 4 or 5 with 1 foot and then take as many steps as you need to turn. In seated, we can do that same movement. Let's just adjust those feet a little bit so we've got room to be able to fit it all in. Or we take a movement back into the chair. Rest ourselves at the back of the chair, extend the foot away so it's about 1 inch, 2 inches at the most off the floor. Point the feet away and that's where you can curl the toes. And then bring it in and splay the toes. So the toes come towards the shin to get that movement into the ankles. So there's your movement there to there. Now, pop it down if you need to after every one or every couple. Give the leg a bit of a rest. This isn't a strength movement. You certainly don't want to allow it to come up here. It's down low. Once you do 4 or 5, reset, pop the other foot out and away again. Again, remember that curl of the toes there, that scrunch. And as you're coming in, splay your toes out and get that movement there. It's about getting the best range of motion. In standing to finish off, we've got this step through, haven't we? This is our walking pattern. Now, ankles play such an important part in balance, so they're forever reacting to the way the floor changes underfoot. So as we're walking, they'll make minor adjustments to make sure that we stay stable and steady. That's what we focus into them. Now listen, you have a great day. Stay active, stay mobile, keep crowbarring in additional activities. I will see you tomorrow morning. It's an early one again tomorrow morning, okay? So it's 6:45 in the morning tomorrow. 6:45 a.m. for your early morning snack. If you're up, I'll catch you then. If not, I'll see you on catch up. Have a great day. Toodles, everybody.